Welcome to Introduction to QuickBooks, presented by Sharper Training Solutions. You could visit our website at stsico.com, email us at info@stsico.com, or find our materials at stsico.com/books. In this introduction, we'll be talking about QuickBooks and the different products that are offered by the company Intuit, with creating and establishing a company profile, using specifically today the QuickBooks desktop software. After we've created the company profile, there will still be a few things that we'll need to manually set up, like sales tax, inventory, email, our company info, and we'll talk about setting up our backup in order to protect and save your QuickBooks data file from potential problems, and that you're able to restore your file and your financials. If you're new to QuickBooks, QuickBooks is accounting software meant for businesses. If you're looking to use this for personal use, the company Intuit does make alternate products for personal use, like Mint online, or you can even use Quicken. QuickBooks is designed for you to be able to keep track of your revenue, keep track of your expenses, as well as your inventory. QuickBooks also allows you to do more than just those basic things. It allows you to also keep track of your assets and liabilities and get a full accounting of all of your company's wealth. QuickBooks comes in two versions, a desktop version that you can install on your desktop, computer, or laptop, as well as their online one. The online one is their latest product. It allows you to access your books anywhere there's an internet connection. So this is really nice for people who are on the go and need access to their financials all the time. The desktop software is usually a one-time purchase, while the online one is a subscription-based service. The desktop version has tons of functionality, and the QuickBooks Online has some of the same functionality, but it is limited based on the subscription that you've purchased. To get started on your company profile, you have the option to click on Create a New Company, and then you'll be given a Setup Wizard. This wizard allows you to confirm that you are the admin and that you can start your own company profile. For more advanced users, you can choose other options and import other accounting from other accounting platforms, as well as even set up a network in order to have your QuickBooks accessible from a server. Once you've clicked on Start Setup, a little pop-up will come up that allows you to log into your Intuit account. We highly suggest that you skip this for the first time, especially if you haven't had a chance to create a profile or an account with Intuit. Setting up an account with Intuit is useful because it allows you to interlink your other software like TurboTax with your QuickBooks accounting. And it's also useful in the sense that it sets you up for their merchant system that you can sign up for, as well as their payroll. One of the nice features that I like about the program is that it guides you in setting up your profile, and particularly in the aspect of where you choose an industry, you can click on Help Me Choose, and what that will do is it will give you suggestions based on the industry you're in. What you'll notice is as you click through them is that different industries will give you different income accounts. These are known as charts of accounts as a whole. But if you click through them, you'll notice that almost every company has the same expense accounts. If you need to customize this, you can do this later within the software. Most importantly, the income accounts definitely allows you to set up more unique income methods in order to record different income streams. So as an example, a products company may need to record their cost of goods sold and maybe bring in whether they have sales for commissions, sales direct from products, sales from affiliates, etc. As a service-based company, it makes your income stream a little bit easier. You simply just can have one income account called sales or consulting income, but some companies do break up their sales in order to keep track of different kinds of sales. If you're uncertain which industry you belong in, QuickBooks does also have general industry options, in which case you can choose product-based business or services-based business. In our example today, we're going to choose a product-based business generally in order to fill out our company profile. When filling out a business type, depending on how you registered your business, you would choose the appropriate option. If, for example, your business did not register with the state and you're doing business under your own name, that would be considered a sole proprietor, and you would use your Social Security as your EIN number. But businesses that are registered would most likely get an EIN number from their local state, and you can register as a single member LLC, a corporation, etc. The business type is useful in the sense that it allows you to uh, assign certain tax mappings, like a Schedule C. We're going to click on Create Company, and that should begin the process of creating your company profile. You'll just have to wait a little bit while it creates the entire database tables, and then it shouldn't take long, a few seconds, as you can see. Once you're finished into it, we'll try to sell you more products, like their merchant system, their merchant payment gateway, as well as their payroll and printed checks. But you can click on Start Working. This is known as your home screen. It's sort of your dashboard. It gives you a workflow to be able to stick to how QuickBooks would like you to enter data. For example, as a customer, you may choose to create an estimate for the customer, then transfer that into an invoice, receive the payment for the customer, and then deposit that into your banking records. Now, the software is quite expansive. The home screen allows you to get to different places, like a shortcut, in order to get to some of the places that the main menus already provide. So for example, if you want to get to your company information, you can click on the menu Company, but likewise you can do that by just clicking on the Company button on the home screen. Now after today, if you feel like you need more help, the software actually has a huge help tutorial where you can read up and watch more videos related to QuickBooks. Now let's make some of those changes we spoke about earlier in the video by going to the menu Edit and then Preferences. This will give us choices about modifying our sales tax, our inventory, etc. Let's choose Inventory first, Items and Inventory. And on here you'll notice that there's nothing in My Preferences, but if you click on Company Preferences tab, you'll see that Inventory is all checked off, and then you will need to click OK in order to start the process of instituting all of the different tables that are necessary in order for having inventory work. Once those screens close, you can open them back up, go back to the home screen, and you should see now a new workflow in the vendors section of your QuickBooks. A lot of pop-ups will come up regarding to try to sell you on the latest version, and etc. But you can notice on the vendors module there at the top, purchase orders, receive inventory, and enter bills against inventory is now available as it wasn't before. Okay, let's get back to the preferences menu and let's choose sales tax. And on here we're going to have to activate our sales tax in order to allow for the input and calculation of sales tax. These tables are not native to the program, and so when we activate them, it's going to close again the system. But when you pick them, we're going to need to create new tax types, particularly because they allow us to set up percentages that we're going to charge in relation to the county. In our example here, we're in New York, and I'm setting up here Suffolk County sales tax. Our sales tax here is 8.625, and we are going to choose our vendor. Our vendor module, by the way, is for everyone you owe money to, and sales tax is not your money. It is the state of New York's or Department of Finance and Taxation, or whoever your state is. And so here we're quickly creating a vendor for the New York State Department of Finance and Taxation. And once we've done that, we can go back and then set up our next one. And you would set up everywhere you are doing business. Sales tax should be collected wherever it is that your clients are coming from in the state of New York, and you're selling all tangible goods. Okay, so here I'm setting it up for Nassau County, which is the both Nassau and Suffolk would comprise of the entire Long Island region, which is for the most part where we do business. We don't do business in New York City, and so therefore we're now going to set up our New York City sales tax because we don't have customers ranging or purchasing from that segment or that sector. In any case, if you are cross-state and you want to collect sales tax and owe sales tax on that in that state and have a presence there, you can set up different state sales taxes as well. Now, on here, you can also choose how frequently you pay these sales tax, monthly, quarterly, annually, and quarterly is the most common. While this creates the sales tax tables that we need, I just want to mention and make sure that it's understood that sales tax collection is not a tax on you as the business, it's a tax on the customer, the consumer. You have just been imbued by the government with the powers to collect. And so therefore the liability is on you, and therefore you have to pass along that money to your state government. Let's just check to see if we can see the items that we entered earlier. Let's open up Invoice to create a new invoice and then click on Tax drop down, and there it is, New York Nassau and New York Suffolk as our choices for our sales tax collection. Let's go back to preferences here and let's move on to the next one, which is send forms. So send forms is your way to be able to set up your email delivery system. Most people will try to use webmail provider, and you can enter in your Gmail, your Yahoo, etc. Now when you do that, it will ask you to sign in and make sure that you can establish privileges. Now I'll try to connect you with your Intuit account and be able to log in and connect Intuit and your Gmail, and then you'll have to sign into your Gmail account. If we do Yahoo, for example, you'll see that that goes in right away because some of those privileges are already set up by the server. In any case, we're going to choose Outlook here, and Outlook is a desktop app application program, and it works really well, especially if you want to control the outcome of the email before it gets sent out. This includes scheduling or potentially even just modifying the predefined message that goes out. Well, that ends all the setups that we have to do in order to create our company profile and make sure that our inventory, our sales tax, and our email is all set up in our software so that we're ready to use QuickBooks to start entering data. Okay, let's review. To create a new company profile, you're going to click on File, Create a New Company. This goes through the step-by-step wizard. You'll fill out the form, establishing your industry, your business type, everything that's an asterisk is required. The more you fill out, the better. For example, your federal tax ID or social security number. Now, other things that are not particularly taken on this form are, for example, your fiscal year or the option to create a password for your QuickBooks profile. Once the QuickBooks profile has been created, it's going to take you to your desktop, your QuickBooks desktop area, which is your home screen. And the home screen is a workflow. It allows you to kind of move around in the way that QuickBooks would like you to ideally enter data. Now, of course, you can always jump into any one of the forms directly and bypass the workflow, but this is how QuickBooks is designed and how they believe you should be using it. As you can see from my screen here, there are a few items that have not been activated, like inventory, and so we're going to need to do that. If you notice, QuickBooks is broken up into different modules. We have the vendors module at the top, customers module in the middle, and employees module at the bottom. And to the right, we have a company segment that allows you to track your charts of accounts and a lot of other kind of personal or company-related items. And finally, your banking, which allows you to keep track of deposits, as well as to be able to compare the entries that go in against your QuickBooks. This is known as reconciling your accounts. In preferences, you're going to establish your inventory by clicking on inventoried items, and your preferences are a great way to be able to modify your QuickBooks in a way that's more customizable to you. So if we click on inventory, you'll notice that we'll check off inventory and purchase orders are active, and then we're going to click OK. You'll also need to set up your sales tax by clicking on the sales tax preference option and then choosing yes, and then setting it to quarterly. Now you can also set up your sales tax items right here, and depending on where you are, what state you're in, You can then choose who your particular vendor will be, your collector, your tax agency collector, and then be able to establish all the different sales tax percentages based on either the county or region that you're in. For email, we recommended that you choose the Outlook option, but if you don't have Outlook, you can always set up your webmail vendor like Gmail or Yahoo. It's completely up to you. But the Outlook is a lot more robust and will provide you a lot more choices for you to be able to schedule, for example, emails, modify the email template, and customize it a little bit more for your customer before sending it out. For backup, we are going to click on File, Backup Company, and create Local Backup. This will bring up a window that will allow you to establish your local backup copy. Now, it is important to note that you should not store your backup on the same computer that your main copy is located on. Likewise, once you've established your local copy and you choose Next, you'll get the option to modify where and then how many copies are recorded, as well as how many reminders you get. So for students, we tell them, depending on how frequently you update your QuickBooks and do your QuickBooks data entries, if it's very frequent, increase the number of copies, and if you need to save more frequently, bring down the number of times reminders to like 1. Okay, thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time.